Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Corpus Christi and the IOM Continental North American Championship. I'm Ken Reed. I'll be your host while Dan is actually out sailing. Before we get into the action, we're in warm-up races. I just want to tell you that this broadcast is being sponsored by UPS, the brand of transportation that you should choose if you want your IOM to not show up at the event that you're planning on participating in. Yeah, I'm not bitter about it. I'd also like to say we're sponsored by American Airlines, who are holding me hostage to actually let me change my ticket to go home since my IOM did not make it. Anyway, I've gotten all my bitterness out of the way. We will be back with racing here in a very short period of time. Good morning, everyone. This is Ken Reed reporting from Corpus Christi, Texas at the IOM Continental North American Championships.
If you're not in B, please.
This event is sponsored by UPS. UPS is the brand of sending things that you want to use if you want your IOM in its perfect case lost forever and not be able to participate in a regatta. Also by American Airlines, the airline company who then gouges you because you can fly home days early and you want to change your ticket. You're right, I'm not bitter, but we're here to watch some great action. Racing will start anytime. Stand by. This is heat number 1, qualifying heat.
30 seconds.
We're going to show a little more of the starting line and start talking maybe a little more about the subtleties of IOM racing.
20 seconds.
Let's stand by and watch this start. Have I mentioned I don't like UPS
seconds.
lately? Yeah, there's going to be plenty of that.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Recall 4-4. Clear.
Favorite Peter Feldman over early and has a little making up to do here. It's a really interesting race course, narrow race course, and this pier that I'm sitting on is in play. Let's watch people calling for tacks to get off the wall. See, this wall really creates, it's almost like a do or die situation with this wall. It works or it doesn't. Interesting race course here. The breeze is further left than expected in normal Corpus Christi conditions. So sailing in a small channel between all these docks. And it's certainly going to kind of bring a lot of people into play, because when it's flat water and reasonably steady conditions like this, everybody's going darn close to the same speed. So it's really going to be interesting to see if a conservative approach and not playing this dock that I'm standing on off the starting line is the right thing to do, or if it's taking that chance and trying to come out of the left. Usually 1 or 2 boats get out of the left and everybody else kind of gets piled up. The other interesting thing is we're not doing outside in marks. This is a windward lured finish. About a 13-minute race course. It's going to be a weather mark with an offset and not an outside in. So port rounding with an offset. And believe me, excuse the camera work. Here we go, Russian roulette up at the weather mark. Couple little bangs.
There was some contact 17.
Steve Landau with his traveling partner Tony Gonzalez, 1-2.
Left to right wind.
They came out of the right on that leg. Regatta favorite Peter Feldman still deep after being over early. I gotta stay out of the way as the peloton of silent racers comes roaring down the dock. I gotta make sure that I'm not in a position to get shoved in the drink. That would just be the end of a perfect few days. It really, you can just tell, the fleet is so compact because of the lack of waves. All these designs are so highly modified that it's really hard to get a speed advantage in conditions like this. Starting line are the orange buoys. These guys are going to go down and choose a side on the white buoys, rounding for the second lap upwind. I've always found when Steve Landau gets ahead, he's tough to pass. He and his buddy Tony Gonzalez have a nice little spot. It's pretty amazing that you do see some bumps, and what gets called, essentially, is the way it works. Again, playing off the wall. Around the middle, some weird chop kind of bouncing off the dock on the other side that these little boats have to contend with, but setups are all really similar, probably a little bit tighter leaches than you'd normally have, especially if you were out in waves. You're not that concerned about making the boat go fast through the water. It's all about the best possible VMG you can come up with. I believe Steve's sailing his Venti at this event. 51 is sailing the Polaris. Sean Fiddler over there, number 11. You know, three of the stalwarts of this group. Been around for a long time. It's kind of cool when you get to essentially sit in the action here. Should be easy to stretch out in this, again, because of the flat water, and hard to catch back up again. Pretty pictures. Breeze gone a little bit left on this beat compared to the first beat, but Landau coming off the far shore. I've always found he's really good at stretching it out. Once he gets a sniff of the lead, he knows how to stretch it out. Subtlety around the mark. It's also probably easy to overstand in these conditions. These boats point so high. The reason I like them so much is they're proper boats. They Gentlemen, what's our thinking here so far?
Right seems to pay.
You said crime pays? Is that what you just said?
The right.
Oh, I thought you said crime pays.
Pay. Crime pays too.
Stay out of the flip-flopping on the dock.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. I agree. All right, so we know Mark Golliston's strategy. He will be starting at the weather end on this next start, and he will be continuing.
He's gonna own the boat end.
Own the boat. All right. The subtlety of getting as deep as possible with these boats, yet not having the jib get blanketed by the mainsail. It is an art. The good people downwind are really good at it, of keeping the jib just pressurized enough and not letting it flap. Also, the Zvonko Jelicic Memorial flip-flop jibes. This is probably a perfect condition for it, so we'll find out who's actually figured out how to do those nice flip-flop jibes. Sean had a good day in a practice session yesterday, I'll say. He was quick, so this is not a surprise. Remember, I'm not sure of the numbers right now, but remember, it's the top group come out of this and go into A division, and the bottom group go into B division. So it's a bit of a challenge right now. We'll also notice that after being over early, our boy number 44, Peter Feldman, has worked his way up into 5th or 6th in this race, which is hard and very impressive. Maybe if these guys come over towards this dock a little bit, we can check out trim. Again, I apologize in advance for sloppy camera work. I've done a little bit of this commentating before in America's Cups past, but I can't say that I've been the camera guy or even the lead guy. I'm always the color guy, so this is a totally new experience for yours truly. Again, brought to you by UPS, the only company that can lose an entire setup and packaging of an IOM with a week and a half time to actually deliver it to its destination and not tell anybody about it until the person comes into said destination. Anyway, told you I wasn't going to be bitter, but I honestly can't help myself. Steve's setup looks nice. Little traveler down, just enough pressure here to load up the boat. Here we go. This is a good capture. Let's take a little peek at Steve's setup. Pretty firm leeches for the most part. Hard to see. I know Dan is always complaining about his teeny tiny viewfinder. Well, he's not lying. This viewfinder is really small. Minimizing tacks by Mr. Landau. Coming into that top mark. Should be the finish line if I remember correctly. When you're not racing, it's kind of easy to... Yep, this is the finish line, so they're finishing up at the top mark. Sean second, Tony third. Sorry, hard to call from here. We're a little early in the regatta to be... look at that, Feldman gets back to a 5th. That's why he's so good in this stuff. It's a pain in the ass sailing against him. Good guy, fast, but really smart. He's just tactically really smart. And yes, Peter, I just gave you a lot of credit. Very cool. Look at everybody finishing at the same time. Again, flat water, subtle shifts, everybody going the same speed. Very fun. All right, we'll come back on this next one, or maybe I'll hand this off to Dan and you can have a professional do it next time. We'll see. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. We'll move on to the next qualifying race in a few minutes.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
On clear.
And we're off. A fleet seating race. Wednesday. Craziness here in Corpus Christi. Sailing on a Wednesday. Everybody's acting retired, calling in sick for work. As the head up wind here, we're kind of easterly wind, so we're on the A dock across from the Corpus Christi Yacht Club. As we get off the line, we got Baron Bremer in the 8-1 boat coming across here. Mark Olson, the 5-5 boat, tacks outside. And it looks like we got Mr. Barbatzer out there in the 6-4 boat, heading upwind. Brad Reed in the 188. Brian Pace in the 7-3, the pink boat. And our birthday boy, Chuck Milliken in the 2-1 boat. 3 pink boats out here today. One from Ohio, one from Bermuda/Florida, one from Puerto Rico. As the birthday boy tries to control the whole fleet in the 2-1 boat, the Biz, as he heads upwind. Looking like he's closest to the mark, but we'll see. He still has to tack. Bar forces Chuck's attack. As we head up into our windward mark, doing a port rounding and an offset. We discussed some upwind gates, and request was denied. So we're doing a windward mark and an offset. Big long course, helping spread people out. Looks like bar was a little low. Or Bremer. Baron in the 8-1 boat makes it up there first. I'll have to give the Tony Gonzalez disclaimer. The video camera sees better than the skippers because I got a big zoom on my Panasonic HC 180 as we head downwind. And do not call the fouls on camera or Tony will come and visit your house.
And he's right here.
I just gave your disclaimer, Tony.
I know.
I said the camera sees more than the skippers.
Yep.
As we got Baron Bremer out front in the 8-1 boat, followed by the birthday boy Chuck Milliken in the 2-1. Looks like the pink boats have all teamed up here. They're all together there. Three pinks.
That's Powder Puff from from Puerto Rico there.
Team Powder Puff. I think that's Christian Plaza in the 1-3 boat, as Tony calls him, Powder Puff. Probably the youngest skipper in the fleet, Tony. Don't chase him away.
No.
Is he in his 20s? 30s?
Most probably very early 30s.
All right. That's a baby in model sailing. He's got a long career in front of him. As we head down to the leeward gates, looks like Mark Galson's coming here to the dock side. Everybody was going out earlier, but Sneaky Mark tends to do different from everybody else. And beats a lot of people. So yeah, splitting the fleet pretty good between the marks. As Barron's still in front on the outside, followed by Brian Pace in the 7-3 boat. Bar Batzer, some quick tacking out of there. And then on the inside gate here, there was Mark Gollison, Chuck Milliken, not sure who else, Brad Reed in the 188. So we got the Reed brothers here with one boat, so they're half the Reed Brothers racing team this weekend. As we head back upwind, coming straight at me, there's Mark Galson in the 5-5 boat, taking some sterns, heading back towards the middle of the course. And looky here, look at Mark. Just squirts up front. So that inside mark really paid for Mark. Inside gate, I should say. As the 5-5 boats out front there with the orange draft stripes. Baron Bremer in the 8-1. Probably in the lead. Bar Batzer in the 6-4. Chuck Milliken in the 2-1. Brian Pace all the way from Ohio. Brian's one of our new addicted sailors, traveling everywhere he can travel. Sailing every class he can sail. The Ohio guys drive here, Tony? Are they bucking for you and Steve's Road Warrior trophy?
Yeah, I think we brought half the fleet.
Yeah, Tony and Steve were boat mules this weekend, so everybody else could just sail in like a rock star out of Florida via Georgia to Texas. As Dr. Jim Sears comes over your way on the left, coming in on port. Gonna have to pray for a hole. Boats are pretty spread out. So Dr. Jim should be okay. As we head upwind.
Baron got a nicer lift.
Mark also on port. Yeah, Baron squeaked out front. Mark has definitely clawed back some boat links as Mark gets to the windward mark second. And Baron's out front in the 8-1 boat, followed by Mark Galson in the 5-5. Birthday boy Milliken in the 2-1, fighting with Florida countryman there, Barbatzer in third. Christian Plaza in the 1-3 boat here from Puerto Rico. As we head downwind, let's check back in on Barron. Long course here today, 100 meter-ish, 100 yards. So Barron's out front in the 8-1. Mark Gallison, 5-5. We can look at some downwind sail tuning here as they come past the camera. The pink boats are still in a row there as we head down to the gate for the last time this race. Looks like Mark Gallison still committing to this dockside gate. As beautiful smooth water, good A-rig conditions here in Corpus Christi. You got the Whataburger in the background as Baron Bremer rounds in first. Mark Gallison chose to go the outside in second. Barbatzer in third. Looks like Christian Plaza in the 1-3 boat underneath bar there. Brian Pace. 7-3. 7-8. That's Skip Miller sailing for Bahamas. Gary Boll, the new Vente. The 7-1 yellow boat there. He's working in on your yellow boat territory, Tony. Did he call for approval on that?
Yeah, well, he told me it was mustard, not yellow.
Oh, okay. Mustard. As Gary goes on a little flyer there behind the docks, trying to gain some leverage on folks, praying for a lift, maybe praying a little dock lift over there. Oh yeah, he did kind of point up a little bit there. I don't know if it'll be enough, but we'll see. As Mark in the center of the fleet's got Barron over here on the left. As they get back over to the center line of the course, in our teeny tiny finish line up there. Gonna make for some dramatic finishes. Remember my motto, always finish on port. So you can get tooled on by the experienced sailors. But Barron out front in the 8-1. Got Brian Pace over here on the left side in the 7-3. He subscribes to my Finish on Port sailing channel. He comes way over,
across 03.
way over to the left. Got Boy with a Dream, Jim Sears, and the massive blue draft stripes. Look at those things, they're beautiful. Following a page from the Reed Brothers draft stripe book. As we get back to Barron, the 8-1 boat, looks like he's going to win this one. Nobody gave the birthday boy, Mr. Milken, a break, but he looks, Chuck might get third here.
He's going to pull a third out.
8-1, yeah, Chuck looks like he's going to, Mark throws a little tack, a little victory tack.
We've got these guys on the inside, you've got to watch them, they're coming.
Oh yeah, making it tough on our scorekeepers. Looks like Chuck Milliken in third, Barr in fourth, Christian in fifth, and
73, maybe 6.
7-8, I think that was Skip.
7-8 or 7-3, yeah.
Skip Miller as we finish up the A Fleet seating race. All right, here we are, race 2 Bravo. 2 Bravo on a Wednesday. As we head upwind here, Corpus Christi, Texas. IOM North Americans. As some guys come here and have to tack away from the dock. Let's direct some traffic here. There's some little kerfluffle near the dock.
You're fine. We need to do a whole lot better than they are coming off that pier.
As we head upwind, we got Larry Grant making mall sailing great again, an 8.5 boat way out there. As Speed Fleet race, first day of sailing. Got Dennis Boom Boom Street Fighter Rogers here in the 4.3 boat. As we head upwind, there's our glorious class secretary, Mike Feldman in the 1.5 boat, followed by Bill Benz in the 8.8. As the boys head up into the glare zone. I got Brad Reed out there in the middle in the 1.88. Big black draft stripes in the Viz. Yellowish, goldish Viz. 7.6 boat. I believe that's Mr. Will Van Cleef. As things are heating up here, Corpus Christi. These boys battle for points. I believe the winner gets invited to Worlds. Gets you a slot to Worlds. 9-0 Odd Stray out front from Norway, the 9-0 boat for our international contingent, followed by Larry Grant in the 8.5. Hot on his heels, Brad Reed in the 1.88, Will Van Cleef 7.6, Mr. Ulf Lindberg in the 1.12. This rolls right off the tongue. Oop. Get things in frame here, Dan. As we scan back, there's Boy with a Dream, Jim Sears in the Sedici, the big new blue draft stripes. So Jimmy's making his fashion statement. Looks like Odd is still out front in the 9-0. Got Ulf in the 1.12. Will in the 7.6. Port. Looks like Ulf's got rights, kind of defending the inside. Will needs to keep clear, but we'll see. Looks like Brad's going to the outside in the 1.88. Looks like he's got some gains on the other Viz, Larry Grand. As they come out on the outside, we got three boats. Three boats came to the inside. Battle with the dock. Odd decides to tack back. The marks are a little further away, but Mark Olson got some big gains coming to the inside on the first lap here as Odd's going to cross the fleet on starboard. No puckering needed as he crosses Brad 1.88. There's Boy with a Dream in the big blue draft stripes in a blue boat on starboard. Will decides to tack, stay in the middle of the course. Got Brad, yellow Viz, the 1.88. Kind of looks goldish, but yellow too. There's Larry Grant, the other Viz. Heading upwind, crossing easily on port. As Odd stays out front, Brad in second, Larry, or maybe Larry in second, maybe Brad in third. I need the computer overlay. Stuck in funding for the equipment upgrade. As they head upwind, Scott had a request to get on video. What, Scott? What number are you, Scott?
No.
Oh my God, Scott. Is that you?
Yeah,
The 6'3"?
Yeah, that's there.
Oh my God. We won't tell anybody you're in last place.
Right, exactly. That's
All right, thank God.
Glad you didn't say that verbally.
Thank God I didn't say that to the world on the internet. But back to our leaders. As Scott yells at the crew in his boat. Oh boy, the class secretary's protesting. People better take note, or you'll be excommunicated from the class. As Odd Stray might lead this one wire to wire, as Odd heads to the offset, heads downwind for the last time. Brad Reed on his tails, on his heels. Larry Grant hanging in there in the 8.5 boat. Top 6 bump up. We're doing 6 up, 6 down. 34-ish boats this weekend. There's a little port starboard situation there. As our leaders head downwind. We got Odd in the 9-0 out front. Brad working the angles coming downwind, trying to get some gains on the other viz. We got Larry Grant following Brad. Will Van Cleef 7.6. Ulf powering up the middle as the sun shines through his hull. Got Dr. Jim Sears on the far outside, and 2, 4, 6th place, looks like. 7th place, 8.4 boat. I do not know that gentleman. There's Dennis Rogers in the 4.3. John Lescombe in the 0.3. So check back in our leaders, see if Odd's gonna own this one wire to wire. Flies a big international flight to kick ass and take names here in Corpus Christi. As we head up to our finish, got Odd out front. What's his name? Newport guy. There he is. Brad Reed. Dan should not drink day one of a regatta ever again. Thought I learned my lesson in Newport. Obviously I did not. As Brad tacks away, maybe Brad saw a little lift that Odd didn't, and Brad might be able to get some leverage and tack back on Odd here and force him to tack. So you get on the starboard side. As we watch Brad and Odd, but really it only matters top 6. This is B fleet. Your top 6, you stay in the water, go up to A. So these top 6 guys should not mess with each other, but it's hard to tune down the racing genes as Odd and Brad out front. Like Dr. Jim Sears, 7.4 boat, using those draft stripes to its full potential. Has found himself in 3rd. Larry Grant trying to make things interesting in the 8.5. As Jim easily crosses in 3rd place on port. Larry's getting held out by Will, unless Larry's going fast, stretching things out a little bit. As Dr. Jim heads to the right side, I think that's the right move, so you can come in the finish line on starboard, but it is tempting to sail close to yourself and see your boat well on this left side. But you come in the finish line in port, and you might get in a situation where that starboard guy will push you down, and that's what we got with Brad and Odd here. As Brad tacks onto starboard, Odd looks like he's going to hit that near side. And looks like Odd's going to get first. Brad in 2nd. Jimmy Sears, boy with a dream, 7.4 boat in 3rd. Looks like Will Van Cleef, 7.6, 8.4, 8.5. As the top 6 move up to A fleet, and they finish off. Gonna get the camera to my fellow cameraman Ken Reed, who's filming some of the races I'm not in. So
We've had a little camera malfunction here with this rookie driver.
2 minutes till mark.
No, it is not 2 minutes till mark. We are in the middle of the first A race, the first legit A race. We got Barr and Mark Gollison out front. Sailed really clean first beat and have just lengthened out. Next couple guys, Steve,
2 minutes till
Peter, my brother Brad, you know, kind of top guns if you're looking at favorites. Brian Shores, Sean, Christian Plaza, number 13. It's a really deep fleet, to be honest. It's a no mistakes deep fleet here. So this is the final beat. I apologize again for not understanding full well how this camera work does. I now have new appreciation for camera people. The right side is the safe side there right now, because this wall, you either live by the sword or you die by the sword when you come over to this dock over here. Feldman is clearly just going fast. He's chewing people up as usual. Couple of, we got a Venti, a Vis, I believe Bars is a V12. Again, it's, as I said earlier, this flat water, it's really hard to gain a big speed advantage right now over everybody. It's just little subtleties, tacking, jibing. Sounds kind of like boat racing, really. The wall here also creates some kind of lumpy stuff. You know, it kind of reverberates its own wake coming off this wall, and if you're not careful, you can really stop once you tack. Looking up the track, Mark Gollison and Barr neck and neck up there. I'm too scared to move or I'll end up screwing this thing up. One thing Dan should be appreciative of is that when you guys all witness me doing this, you're going to be screaming for Dan to get back here. Unfortunately, Dan's going to be back sooner than you think, because he's not having his best race in number 17 here right now. He was 4th in the first seeding race. Made his way into the top round. Really close finish up there. Looks like Barr might have just edged out Mark Gollison. Peter in 3rd. Real close between the rest of the group. I think Brad was in that mess a little bit. Breeze picked up a couple knots here. Beautiful day in Corpus. Just such a narrow race course. Will be interesting to watch how this plays out. If the breeze goes right, I think what they say is they take everybody out to the wall, and then you're kind of sailing out in bigger areas, a bigger, broader area. So that should be a little more of a boat speed contest if that happens, and also brings a little bit of chop into play, certainly making starting harder. Anyway, sorry to mess up the first part of this race. I'll try to do better. All right, welcome back. This is the second B race, B2. A few people came down from A Division down into B Division. Slight building breeze here in Corpus Christi, Texas. Again, this is Ken Reed, and I am brought to you by UPS. If anybody sees a big case that says Ken Reed, Newport, Rhode Island, and an IOM inside of it somewhere kicking around the country, please let me know. Always looking for where the gaps are. Who's done a nice job of creating a gap? 88 has a nice gap to leeward. 03 has a nice gap to leeward.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
General
Oof. General, we'll be right back. All right, 1 minute to the second B Division race. 50 seconds. Hopefully you can hear the clock ticking down. It is a within 1 minute, if you're over the line, you are out of the race. In this one, Mark Foster, our PRO, getting a little mean early in the regatta, but that's okay. After a general recall. The fleet is caught on to the fact that this pin end may not be worth it. It's really interesting. Depending on the shift, you hit this dock so quickly, even though you get room to get off the dock, it can start a catastrophe. 6, 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, just as I said that, everybody snuck their way down towards this end. And we're going to have bird's eye view of, let's call it, technical terms, a bit of a you-know-what fight coming up here. Let's hear people start to call for water. Bang, bang, bang.
Starboard 8 floor. Thank you.
Like I said, like 171 got out of here. You get out of here, you're golden. But the other people that all smashed into each other for a little bit of time. By the way, that was number 71, Gary Bowl. You always know where Gary Bowl is. Just listen. All right, we're gonna walk down here. We're gonna try a little different angle this race, and we're gonna try to get to the weather mark. Sorry. Oh. Oh. The PRO just said I was doing a great job. This is the first time a PRO has ever said anything nice to me in their lives, but anyway. Plus he hasn't seen how bad the camera work is here yet, so God bless him. All right, back to the races. Flat water, breeze is up, maybe another knot. We're getting up towards top end of A, not quite the top end of A yet. Trying to stay out of the participants' way here. All right, coming into the weather mark. Let's stop and watch the Russian roulette happen as guys start to creep in on port. Oh boy. Oh boy. 103. John Luscombe had to get out. Oh, he made it through. That's unbelievable. All right, I got to be honest with you. That had disaster written all over it, and except for a couple people, that was exceptionally well done.
You going right or left? Okay.
Good old K2, 171. Boats are starting to scoop. I'm always asked, what's the difference between, when do you know when to change between A rig and the smaller B rig? And the good guys actually say that it's as much about downwind as it is anything. You know, the B rigs come into play pretty quickly upwind, but they really struggle downwind, especially in this flatter water where the A rig would be quite dominant downwind. So I don't think we're even close to there yet, and we'll see the best. You know, sometimes the best guys. I know when I'm sailing these things, I follow the best guys. When they start to change, I start to change. I'm not smart enough to understand what the subtlety is in changing yet in these boats. Second B rig race. Second B division race, and I have to tell you, it's been very impressive so far. We got some You can book it over out of the waves there for a bit behind the dock on the far side. There's a long pier on the far side, but I've been watching and there's actually quite a bit of interference from the dock. So yes, you get in flat water for a bit. You see a boat tucked way up in there. Height. They're gonna have to reach down around the dock to get. They are reaching around the dock a little overstand. That's unbelievable. Okay, that was very funny. I don't think you can go on the other side of the dock. You'd be in trouble. Brian Peace in 73. Pace. Brian Pace.
It says peace on one of the.
It says Peace here. I'm sorry. Okay. Brian Pace, 73, who just corrected me. I've made my first, until people actually watch this tonight, I've made my first enemy of the day by pronouncing his last name incorrectly. Everybody, it's a super, and not to say in a derogatory way, but B Division race, I gotta tell you, super high quality. Chuck Milliken, by the way, happy birthday, Chuck, in 21. Might have overstood Chuck. Is that what you do on your birthday? I won't say how old he is. Chuck might be rounding the marks the wrong way if he's not careful. All right, Brian. Alex Clocky in 171. In second, remember, this is all about getting yourself back in A Division. I believe it's the top 6 or 7. Again, thanks to UPS, I haven't really been paying attention to the subtleties of the racing here so far. So, the whole goal in life is to get yourself back up into A Division and get some low scoring points. Close race as far as people who are going to go up in the fleet. Chuck made it around the marks.
Starboard port, sorry.
Chuck was just informed that he was protested at the weather mark. How do you do that to a guy whose birthday it is? But anyway, Chuck, being the gentleman that he is, just said, okay, and did a circle. All right, big pack of boats at the leeward mark coming in around the same time. Remember, I believe it's top 6. Mark, is it top 6 or 7?
6.
Top 6, all right, top 6. These boats kind of fade away as they tack off that starboard side. Top 6, and this is the last beat. Sorry. Rookie driving this rig, no question about that. Larry Grant in 85 making a bit of a comeback here, getting himself up into the top 6. Now this is going to be close. Top 4 looks to be a little poked if they don't screw around with each other. And then the spot for the next two is going to be quite close. Interesting moves over there, kind of putting yourself in between the dock. And again, could be slightly flatter water over there once you get in, but I'm not so sure. I still see the boats bobbing around a little bit. All right, let's see if we can watch boats coming off the deck here. This is the battle right now. Top six. Gary Bull's going to put the clamps on, possibly fifth with that tack right there. Larry Grant, don't overstand, Larry. Seven 3. Great race. Really well done. 4-3. 171 loses 4-3 at the finish, but doesn't matter. Here we go. Final one. And that's it. There's your promotion. Really close. Really close. Where's Birthday Boy? There's Birthday Boy out there after doing a circle. I think that should be a rule. If it's your birthday, nobody forces you to do 720. The rules don't apply, but that's just me. I guess I try to tell people it's my birthday every day then. Uh-oh. Bang! You can see that one coming a while away, Birthday Boy. Jeez. Sorry, it's not funny. Yeah. Maybe we pretend it's not your birthday today? Anyway. No, Chuck, you were the highlight of that.
I'll bet I was.
Sorry.
Holy shit.
I'll be back soon, everybody.
50 seconds.
All right, 50 seconds, and this is race 3A, 3 Alpha. The pile up at the weather end is starting to happen, but as we saw in that last race, in that B race, people start creeping this way, but this seems to be a little more aggressive towards the windward end of the line.
30 seconds.
30 seconds to go. It's tough up there. You're always wondering,
20 seconds.
are the boats going to go sideways enough to let me in, or is somebody going to be able to shut the door?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, general recall.
Uniform flag.
Few people very happy. Few people, maybe including Brad Reed, not so happy, but chances are he was over if it was a general recall. He had such a good start, but that just might be me being a very critical older brother.
2 minutes still more.
All right, we'll catch up with you here in a second. Okay, 1 minute just happened, and the PRO has decided it is a, I don't even know what's the flag. A U flag, is it, Bar? U flag. Shouldn't be bugging Bar, he's in this race.
40 seconds.
Can't be over early. No going over early and going back, let's put it that way. All about the gap. You have a gap. Long time to go here. Really interesting how good people get at stopping these boats on the starting line. It's phenomenal how good.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All clear. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is nobody came into the dock that time. That was incredible. Oh, Spoke too soon. Spoke too soon.
43, I need to tack.
Oh,
I got it, Will.
I let the moment commentate itself on that one.
I'm making it, Larry.
Not sure what happened to these two guys. I'm going to try to sneak up towards the weather mark without interfering. I now have an appreciation for what Dan does in these races by not getting in the way of people. Fortunately, we have these rather large pilings to hide behind. And 171 came out of B fleet in that last race and winning at first weather mark. Oof. All right, where do you get not only the best pressure, but how do you keep out of people's way? You really see how these boats throw up wakes, and the wakes are really interfering. Sometimes you can surf on them a little bit if you get the angle quite right, but a lot of times they can really slow you down as the boat behind if you're not careful. Where my buddy Dan is. I don't think Dan's out there this time, and somehow he has gotten me. It's like, what was it, Tom Sawyer painting the fence? He's gotten me doing this. Alright. Sean Fiddler continues to sail really well in boat number 8. Boat number 11. That was a pretty dominant leeward leg by him. It's just not a wide racetrack, and it's really hard if you get behind to find that lane. You know, there's no question the best guys and girls in this class are the people who can find themselves zigging when the whole entire pack is zagging, and that's the way to kind of get back in clumps. I'm zooming out to kind of watch that, but as these guys come, let's take a good look at what Sean's doing right here, because he's doing something right. He was, as I said earlier, he was quick yesterday in the practice racing, I noticed, and he has followed it up today with obviously a good setup, and he's getting off the starting line well. Help if I actually use the camera correctly. Alright. Upwind, no draft stripes, which makes it hard to really see what the camber is. Mark Gollison has gone to orange. He told me as much for just visibility of his boat on the race course as it is for seeing sail shape. I personally do it because I just love seeing the sail shape.
Starboard 5-1.
All right, We're going to have some port tackers coming in this time. Bunch of boats coming in on port, but it looks like the gap might be okay up there to get them all through. We'll see. There's two boats coming on starboard. What is it, 171 and 51? Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Oh, 188 got through there, like through the skin of his little teeth. Here comes the peel away. Down the road. A lot of times you can tell by if somebody's really twisty on their main sheet, downwind almost better than upwind. There's nothing too radical out here. 90 is pretty twisty. 90 is quite twisty. Actually, 44, Feldman's quite twisty at the same time if you're looking downwind. Gotta pick the long jibe to get to the mark on these runs, because very often, like Feldman jibed right around that weather mark in 44, and he's gonna lay. Or darn close to lay. One quick little jibe at the end. 188's getting in the middle of a bluffing duel rather than just going for it. I'm gonna have to talk to 188 later. Oh, 188 fouled, and just kind of. The whole group, that entire first group likes the calm behind the dock over there right now. They're not worried about the breeze being a little fluky behind that dock. I've noticed this on how Sean sails sometimes. He doesn't mind just kind of putting the hammer down and maybe not being the highest boat out here, but trying to be the quickest through the water. These guys have been doing this for a long time, so it's fun and impressive to watch. Brian Shores and Mark Ollison. Feldman lurking over there. There it is again, getting out of sync with everybody. Trying to limit your. I think Mark Ollison set up really nicely today, by the way. He's been right in the hunt all the time. When you get all the way up in this left corner, you can get far enough to get some bad air from behind the solid part of the dock. So that's why you don't see a lot of people really tucking in there. There we go. Nice job, Sean. Oh, Brian, I think, might have gotten second. Probably Mark was third. Tell you what, the Pride of Norway, number 90, is having a good day. Sailing the boat well. Feldman or Landau. You don't want to be in the bottom 7 here. Not the best race for 188, but we'll be seeing him again shortly. Signing off for now. All right, we are back from lunch, ladies and gentlemen, and it is the, I think, 4 B fleet. The race to the top 6, move up into A division. Oof, we've already had a collision. Our birthday boy Chuck Milliken on port tack, shoving somebody in reverse. Oh, 17, that's our boy Dan. Oh, Dan, come on, we want you to get into A division. So, all right, go Dan, go. Go 17, go.
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Recall 7-3. And Mike Feldman has hit the pin here. This will be really interesting to see if he can get off. Doc, I don't think he's going to cross. Technically, he'd have to duck. He's ducking. Yeah, so again, live by it, die by it. And poor Mike Feldman did not make it. 17, Dan.
Coming out for water, 43.
That was an OG's from our illustrious cameraman, an OG's. The bottom line is IOM versus Doc. Doc wins. I have to get this stuff out of here so we can actually deal with this. All right, here we go. Back at it. That was very nice of Dan. He's always looking out for the TV show and put on a show for us there. Oh, he just smashed into about 11 different boats.
3-6, protest 4-3.
I think we should just follow 17 around for a while. That's really entertaining. Oh. There has been, I think there's a little lunchtime hangover going on here right now. That's as many crashes as we've seen in a long time. Breeze is up a little bit. Again, maybe another knot. We are, we'll call it top end of A, but certainly still doable A rig. Looking up the track. I think the first few boats are poked out enough that they can clearly get around the mark. Let's see the kerfuffle. Some boats going backwards. All right, here we go, downwind. I see the number 88. I think I'm sailing against my brother back in Newport in the DF95s. 85, Larry Grant. I gave him a little pep talk before this race. It appears the pep talk was working. It's pretty amazing when you just lock yourself into the correct wake, how you can just go so much faster than a boat right next to you. Just a little bit of wave difference and how the boat sits inside the wave, how long the waves are. Good move, diving off to the right hand mark. Why poly yourself up with all the boats on the other mark? Alright, well done. Again, this flat water, you just see some really good sailing out here. Oops. Except for over the other side. Easy to do. Looks simple, isn't simple. I can tell you that from experience.
Aren't you going to take a turn, 114?
Very polite way of saying get your bleep together. It's not a lot of big shifts out here. You know, a lot of times, again, we sail by, these fleets sail near the shore, and it gets to be shiftier and shiftier. Even though we're down a narrow channel, it's a long runway to actual land, and this is actually incredibly consistent breeze. So a lot of times you see what 85 just did. It's just wall to wall. Minimize maneuvers. You probably lose a boat length every time you tack or so. And why not gain a couple boat lengths by just not tacking as much? You know, look at how close this fleet is. It's all right here. I'm going to try my hardest to be a better cameraman this session.
Harbor guys.
This is my only day. One of our sponsors, American Airlines, did, in fact, figure out how to get me home tomorrow without my IOM, which is somewhere in the world. As I said before, if you see a black hard Gulf case with Ken Reed's name on it in big letters, fragile IOM radio control sailboat, that's me. Somehow they lost it. It's not like I was sending around a package the size of a wallet. But anyway, back to the madness. I'm gonna have to bless Larry's boat more often. Pretty clean. Oh, we have a tragedy out here. Keelless. Didn't even notice that. Oh my goodness. You don't see that every day of the week. Fortunately, there's nobody to pull out of the water. In the America's Cup commentary, we were trained to not say anything in fear of somebody's hurt. But I think it's fair to say there's nobody drowning on the orange boat. But it is keelless. Wow. Just about to say there's really not a lot of excitement going on here, but I was dead wrong. All right, let's go to Dan. Sorry, we just, Dan making his move. I know everybody's hoping like heck he gets back on this camera at some stage. Got to be in the top 6 here, my friend. He's close. That's 6 around the mark. He's got some work to do. All right. Wall to wall. See a lot more wall to wall going on here. One dock, other dock. Don't get too tricky. See, the chop is just coming up enough so it's starting to affect boats when they tack. Sure. Really interesting setup differences. Really deep mainsail, deep bottom of the mainsail. Right there. Another trick of the trade is get yourself to a ley line to again minimize the tacks, but I think he's probably safe enough out there ahead PRO Mark Foster's banging off races. We had about a 45-minute lunch break. We're still doing 3 beats, 2 runs, and it is a offset at the weather mark, but we're coming up on the finish line here. Again, it's a top 6 situation. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, the 4th place, whoever that was, just ran into the mark. Oh no. I'm not sure they're gonna re-round, but anyway, no, doesn't look like it. I won't say a word. I don't want to know the number. I will not say a word. You know, a lot of the fleets around the country, at least in Newport, we sell DF95s by making marks available to hit. Kind of seems like it takes one of the complaining things out of the mix, and but these marks are hot, so you cannot hit the mark as you finish. Anyway, that's our B race. A race coming up. I'll try to see if I can get Dan back on here so you get a good commentator and good cameraman, and off we go.
Oh. Alright, A fleet after lunch. I forget the numbers, but boy with a dream. Jim Sears down here, way on the pin end. Gonna have to tack, get some cooperation off the dock. No problem, taking some sterns. Runs into some starboard boats. Threads the needle. That's my phone call. What could it be? Spam. Not when I'm filming. Alright. A fleeters warming things up. We got Brad Reed in the 188. Mark Galson, 5.5. As we sail upwind. Into the glare.
Yes, you have to ask people who's the back. You can't just turn to the side. Which side?
We're not anything. I thought you were protest 3, protest 90. 3, protest 90.
Protest 90.
The rules discussions are heating up here, Corpus Christi. So we head to the windward mark for the first time. I got distracted listening to the discussion. As looks like Brian Shores is into that, coming in hot into that windward mark on port. Got Brad Reed coming in from out of frame to crush Brian's dreams, and Brad's gonna hold on and make it. Oh no, Brad has to throw a little tack in, make it, but Brad gets there first. Mark Galson in second. As we head downwind. Hunting for the best jibe to be on. Brad settles for port. Mark's on port. Brian's on port. Steve's on starboard over here out of frame. As we head downwind. John Lushcombe in the 03 boat. The Britpop that's actually a Vente. We got Sean Fiddler over here. Pick Parker's boat, I believe, V12. 1-1. As they're 3 wide here as they talk to NASCAR. As we're heading down. Well, the early morning races, video by my apprentice, Ken Reed. Ken had a job opening this weekend, courtesy of UPS. So Ken's trying out for my new cameraman position here at Shaky Cam Productions. So we'll let the internet vote if we can keep putting the camera in Ken's hands. But Ken would like to be on the race course, but the UPS gods conspired against him and delivered a viz to the ether. But back to the action. Mark Galson, the 5.5 boat, made a last-minute tune, got in the water late, over to the finish line with about a minute to go. Kept himself from getting DSQ'd, cuts it really close to that dock as he's defending the right side of the course. Got Brian Shores on his hip, 117. Not sure. We got John Lushcombe coming in there in the 03. There's Steve Landau and Sean Fiddler. Across the fleet on port. Sean decides to tack under Brian. Steve Landau heading out to the other dock as Mark beats up wind on starboard. Got Brad coming over here to the left side. Tacking back. 188. Probably take Brian's stern here a little bit as we go up to our windward mark for the second time. Tony Gonzalez in the 5-1. Got a lot of jib opening, a lot of twist. Let the boats breathe. Good wind here in Corpus. Shrouds have started to whistle. Everybody's still in A-rigs. Nice smooth water in here in this inside channel to the yacht club on Wednesday morning in Corpus Christi, Texas. As port tackers versus starboard tackers here at the windward mark. Some shoes in port. Mark came on port. 5-5 gets there first. Brad's been starboarding every time, keeping the odds in his favor. As Mark's in first, Brad rounds in second, buries the nose in the viz a little bit. Vizes are the first ones to put the bow under, it seems like to me. Not that I've done a big analysis, but they seem to go bow down before anybody. But Mark Galson, the 5.5 out front. Brian Shores, 117. Brad Reed, 188. Steve Landau, Pula, Georgia, 1-2 punch boat. White Polaris. Tony Gonzalez, carpool karaoke with Steve, all the way from Florida, boat mulin. Christian Plaza in the 1-3 boat. Powder Puff gang, and Sean Fiddler in 1-1. V12, and then Peter Feldman, the Copper Topper, the 4-4 boat. Everybody goes outside but Steve Landau, so let's see if this pays off for Landau. As Steve's coming to the inside, and over here to the dock. Fiddler's to the inside. Peter Feldman, the 4-4, to this inside, and we got Mark and Brian. Mark and Brian seeing how close they get to that dock. I think Mark's hull went under the dock the last time, but they managed to get by there okay. As we head upwind, Mark at the 5.5 with the orange strap stripes.
I was like, how can you make that mistake twice? I mean, like, sort of maybe.
Looks like Brad came to the inside in the 188. Brad was in Brad second at the last one. I think Brad was in second. Steve went to the inside. Passed a couple people. Oh man, memory failure is a horrible thing, folks. But every day's a due day for me. So Steve's banging the corners, as the saying goes, from one side all the way to the other. See if he can get lifted with the world's longest lay line on starboard to the teeny tiny finish line. As Mark is still out front. Tony's coming over here. Tony's never seen a port finish he didn't like, so he's going to come over here and see if he can get some lift, some gain coming in. Got Christian Plaza in the 1-3 boat out of Puerto Rico. As Mark and Brian battle it out. What's going on here? It looks like Brian might have got some sneakiness on, but Mark's going to hold him out till the very last minute, I think, and shoot for the line on port. As Mark reaches the end of the finish, gets there. Looks like Mark first, Brian Shorzy in second, and Brad Reed in third, Steve Landau in fourth in the 1-2. Tony Gonzalez sneaks in there fifth or sixth. I'm losing track, folks. Sean Fiddler. As the boys head in for a finish. That's an 8th leader for you. So the bottom 6, oh boy, a little pile up here. Boy with the dreams, getting some wrinkled draft stripes. As bottom 6 go down. There's our winner, pulling his boat out there. It's got one teeny tiny draft stripe on the jib.
All right, you got me again. Ken here. Dan out in the water. We're rooting for number 17. He is not caught up in the mess that is there. Doesn't look great. A little mounting. All right. Here we go. 20 seconds to the start.
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Go 21.
5,
Go 21.
4,
Go 21.
2, 1.
All right, there. Problem with 21 is he's got a big enough gap that he can't really call for room, so he's going to end up having to tack and duck. Oh, got lucky there. Got lucky. Oh. Dan, 21. Oh, yay.
Coming out, Will.
Yeah, this is
I can go, I'll go.
this is the cluster that we've been so fond of. That was a bit of a mess. All right, Chuck, put the hammer on. Birthday boy, let's go. That is the risk. The risk of the pin end start out here. All right, we're going to work up the dock. See if we can get ourselves in the action with this weather mark. Nice feature of this race course, obviously, is the fact that you can walk it for the most part up and down the docks. Docks are tight. There was some maintenance crews here earlier that were plugging it up a little bit, but for the most part. Alright, so I'm guessing the battery is going to run out, or already has, at least once. And
land down the middle of the line. This boat's head upwind. Gus Rogers on one side, Chuck Milliken on the other side. Chuck loves the stock. Loves that tacking for room. But how much, you can still make those guys tack back, can't you? If you're a starboard boat again? You just got to keep them from... Yeah, I don't think they get it forever. I think it's just you kill them, you keep them, you have to let them not hit the dock.
Right. So maybe 10 feet.
Yeah. Well, I tacked away and then they got mad because I was actually just doing them a favor instead of telling them to tack back. But
Yeah.
maybe next time I won't.
Well, sometimes it's not worth it.
Got Brad Reed in the 188 boat in the middle, back to the action after soft talk from Idaho Model Sailors Commodore Alex Clockey. Looking for skippers in Idaho. He's looking to sail a boat without getting on an airplane, but I don't think you've done it yet, have you?
Nope.
All right, well, we're going to drum up business in Idaho. As we head upwind, wind's building a little bit, a little stronger, a little more choppy. Got Steve Lando on the 1-2 boat, Brad Reed trying for the world's longest ley line to the windward mark. Looks, I'm saying Steve makes it. Brad's gonna be close. Brad might be a little low. Brad's praying for lift right now.
He's got it.
Steve's gonna make it. The Wonder Viz is gonna make it around also. No, Brad had to throw a tack. Look at that. Cameraman. I think I'm a better cameraman than I am a sailor. But Steve heads downwind all by himself in the 1-2. Brad Reed in the 188. Brad hot off his DF95 Nationals win in his own backyard at Sail Newport. Brad's office overlooks the course, so about 58 boat event out there in Newport, Rhode Island. Check back in on Steve. Steve's powered up. Out front, don't let anybody pass you. Brad's in second. Got Brian Shores in third in the 117. Into the glare. As skippers come lumbering on by. As Steve eyeballs that outside mark, 1-2 boat. As I try not to step off the dock, trying to get the shot. Steve makes it first. Looks like Brian Shores, he might have got there in second. Snuck ahead Brad. Brad's in third. Christian Plaza giving Brad the business there. Gonna give him room, but not a millimeter to spare. As back upwind for the second time. Some dead air there, but it was a bad tune, I think.
Yeah, it was the tune.
No, he's joking. We're pulling your leg, Ken. My apprentice cameraman there didn't know how to change the batteries. probably sent his boat to Corpus Christi with a K instead of a C. As Steve Landau trying to lead this one wire to wire in the Polaris. Used to be 3D printed. Now they're epoxy fiberglass. Now they got the Solaris. I think they're working out the No-Laris. Going to follow by the Low-Laris. And the crown jewel of the fleet will be the Mo-Laris.
Or the Go-Laris.
The Go-Laris when they get to G. So, anyways, Brad tacks on to port. Christian tacks with him. In the 1-3 boat. A little cooperative sailing there as they try to run down Mr. Lando. In the 1-2 boat on the outside. Feels like the wind picked up and the boat slowed down. I don't know what's going on. As Steve gets on to starboard. And over there, Brian Shore's on starboard. As we head on in. Ooh, Brian got some gains on Steve. And pushes Steve back into second. So Brian Shore is nibbling away at Steve. Death by 10,000 cuts. See who's faster downwind. Steve in the Polaris, the 1-2 boat. I got Brian Shores in the Vente. And the other yellow boat, Mr. Brad Reed. The Bumblebee Express with the black draft stripes. Yellow boat, heading downwind. Nobody's messing with each other. Brian's legging it out a little bit. Steve and Brad 2x2, just like Noah's Ark. Up Bar Batzer. And the 6-4 boat out there. Peter Feldman in the 4-4, I believe, is in the middle, and I'm not sure on the other one. There's Brian Shoresy eyeing up that outside gate. Looks like Mr. Landau might come in the inside here. Gonna pull the Mark Gallison treatment. As Brian gets a few links on Steve. Brad's coming in, following Brian. Steve all by his lonesome over here. Peter Feldman and Will Van Cleef, 7-6 boat, coming to the inside. Let's see where Steve and Brian cross. Brian had a pretty good lead. Steve's not sure who's getting lifted here, but Steve and Brian come back together here. Brian maintains his lead. Bar tacks away, does a solid to Peter as they head upwind. Steve has to duck Brad. A little more. Brian maintains the lead. Steve working over the right hand side, so try to finish on starboard. Brian's out front. He's going to do whatever he wants if he can stay ahead. Brad in the 188. Yellow Biz, G95 national champion. Seeing if he can be an IOM champion. As Brian comes off way to the left here. Brian's going to put some in the bank. Going to come in on port. Steve and Brad. Brad going out to the right. Steve coming back to the left. Work in the middle. It looks like Brian's going to hold on to it. So I zoom in, make it a little easier to see. Oh, Brad might nip Steve here for second. Looks like he does. Nice sail on Brad. Steve looked like he's coming in third. It's like Peter Feldman in the 4-4 coming in fourth. Sticking with the fourth theme. Barboutzer in fifth. See Mark Galson up there. Sean Fiddler. Will Van Cleef. I think it was Will, Mark, Sean, something like that. But that's an A-Fleet race, taking about 10 minutes.
All right, 50 seconds. And a little different angle this time. I'm here with our PRO, Mr. Foster.
40 seconds.
What's the flag that we're under, Mark? What does that mean?
It's a
Regular start. Okay, he's using all these technical
30
terms.
seconds.
Us sailors will call it a regular race start.
Seconds.
Chuck Milliken, 21, birthday boy, coming down to the pin.
15 seconds.
I can't talk him out of coming to the pin. He's a stubborn old bastard, old Chuck.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Recall 8-5.
Gives you an idea. This is Deep Fleet race. How
8-5 clear. 8-5 also needs to do some circles.
how tight these races are. All right, can Chuck tack and cross? That's the question of the week. You got it, Chuck. Tack, cross, and go. He made it. That's unbelievable. I would have talked him out of going to the pin. Old Chuck Milliken, that was his whatever birthday present right there, is getting off the beach like a peach. Off he goes. All right, just win the race. And the reason I'm slightly invested with Chuck, because I spent some time in between races tuning his boat. So not to say that it has anything to do with it. I would say much more so it has to do with actually getting a good start. And I'm going to give him complete and utter credit for that, not listening to his coach. All right, same old course. 3 windward legs, 2 leeward legs. Just a beautiful, I mean, literally. What really adds insult to injury here, the fact that I'm not racing and I'm doing commentary, is the fact that it is such a picture-perfect IOM day. I mean, literally perfect. Top end of A. All right. Anyway, I'm going to stop feeling sorry for myself. Have I mentioned how much I like UPS? Anyway, come on, Chucky. Get around. Chuck Milliken in first place, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Ooh, Tony found himself back in B Fleet.
2-1 protest
51.
5-1. 2-1 protest 5-1.
When you're out ahead, the move here is to just keep clean.
21, there's the protest against you at the windward mark. 03 protest 21 for the last time.
All right, that didn't go perfect for our guy. All right, just get a top 6. This is also hard. You have to do a circle. We're just focusing on the birthday boy. You got to do a circle. You're flustered. You got to get it back together. Somehow you got to reel it in. Going fast. Got to reel it in. much easier said than done. I gotta admit, it pains me to say when race committees do a good job, but it's really balanced leeward marks, really balanced weather marks. I'd still like to see outside in weather marks. I think they're more fun, and I think it keeps the carnage down to a science, but just look at this day, it's just picture perfect. Again, adding insult to injury. If it was pouring rain and no wind, I'd probably be happier that my friends at EPS hosed me. But anyway, here's what it is. Dan in number 17 making a comeback. I'm also secretly rooting for Dan so I can call a division race. The way Dan's been sailing, this is no knock on Dan, but the way this has been sailing, he's been sailing, I'm going to be calling a lot of B division races for obvious reasons. God, the tacking angles are phenomenally tight. You think there's not a chance somebody's crossing, and they're crossing right now. Again, literally perfect IOM racing. I gotta not get pushed in the water here. I'm gonna stand next to a post. Sorry, I'm pacing Tony. Gonzalez. Tony's just trying to get back. He must have had a bad race in that A division race, so he's trying to get back up into A division. 17. Come on, 17. Let's go. Sorry, I know we're not supposed to have rooting interests. Oh, he just did a circle. Oh, well. Oh, well. So much for Ken calling an A division race. Phenomenally good racing, whichever division you're in right now. Big one up here is don't have to two-tack a weather mark. Make sure in these boats, when in doubt, just do a little overstand and make sure you're comfy. Every once in a while you might lose a boat, but at the same time you avoid the meltdown crash bumper cars up there.
What are you doing?
Uh-oh. Here we go. Bang, 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 bang. Oh. Oh my God. My protege in number 21 didn't have the best mark rounding up there. So we're going to switch away from 21 and we're going to run back with the leaders of the pack. Jim Sears sailing a great race here so far. Got himself in the lead and stayed super conservative and comfortable. Again, when you get in this top six, sometimes you just got to figure out how to stay in six because you're not counting this race. You're trying just to get yourself up into A division. And all of us as sailors are constantly trying to push it for every inch. But in this radio control sailing, when you're elevating and going up, going down from division to division, sometimes you got to just talk yourself into take a 5, take a 6. Again, you're not counting that number. You're just trying to get back into A division. Don't do circles. Don't get in a collision. Don't press it. Now, if you're in 6, 7, 8, you got to go hammer down. You got to try to get into 6. That's your whole goal in life. Tony Gonzalez, the man who puts on more miles on his car to go to radio control events. I don't think he has a home at this stage. I think his home is like a Toyota Corolla or something. Between he and Steve Landau, they're driving buddies. I have to admit, my brother Brad and I, when we got on a plane the other day and we had shipped all our stuff to UPS, we were kind of laughing at him, like, huh, this is much more comfy than having to drive from Georgia. But guess who got the last laugh? These guys showed up with all their gear. Yeah. Tony's incredibly consistent. He doesn't do anything crazy. He's actually a really consistent sailor in these things. Kind of fun to watch. Notice, yeah, the sheets eased a little bit coming out of that tack. So that's 1, 2. We got 3, 4. Gary Bowl, 5. John Luscombe shooting for top 6. Got a little reach-a-thon going on up there. Again, Tony's smart. He just lets it happen. Don't do anything messed up at the finish line. Little reach-in action. Great job, 74. Great job. All right, that's 1, 2. There's 3, 4. Oof. Trying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and oh, 6th place just hit the pin. 63. Oh no, are they gonna go around? No harm, no foul. We've all been there. Oh goodness, I guess it's a different vantage point from here. It sure is easy in the cheap seats. Anyway, I don't believe our boy in 17 got himself back up, so you will hear his dulcet tones here shortly.
Going live. Which fleet is this? A fleet? I have no idea what number. People ask me to say the numbers, then I lose them.
7 or 8? Maybe,
7 or 8?
like that?
All right. Let's see, as the boats spread out across the line.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, we got Sean Fiddler on the pin end and Tony Gonzalez on the boat end. So let's see how that plays out. Both spread across the line. Little party barge there between 9-0 and Bar Batzer.
Oh boy, yeah, that's not good.
So Bar's not.
So 44 was they got the worst start. Peter got the worst start of that group, but had a wonderful lane to clear out.
Yep.
Let's watch how this happens.
Yeah, Peter's middle of the course, clear air.
Yeah.
In the copper top, Viz as I like to call it.
You got all the nicknames.
I have
I'm just trying to come up with the names, period.
I have my PhD in smartassery, Ken.
All right. 188 might have a nice. Oh nope, he just got his lane taken.
That attack.
Go 11.
All right, let's move up here so I don't trip the skippers as we keep them from walking into the pole.
This is as tight as it gets here right now.
Yeah, this is everybody in the middle of the course. Got Dennis Rogers in the 4-3.
Feldman did a nice job. Oh, he got smushed.
Yep.
Wow, this is a tight race.
There's Brad. Oh, Brad having a duck, big duck, on some starboard boats. Tony Gonzalez in the 5-1. Christian Plaza in the 1-3.
All this is happening. You got old Willie just staying out of trouble over there.
That's Will Van Cleef. Slick Willie, as Ken calls him, in the 7-6 boat.
Brothers ducked 42 boats on this leg so far.
Yeah.
Oh,
So look at Sean. Sean was way down the pin end, and he's coming in on port. But
There's
oh
some-
my gosh, a freight train of
Yeah.
starboard boats coming.
there's some really good boat handling going on out here, though. The ducks are beautiful.
Yeah.
Have I mentioned that I really wish I was out there sailing?
Yeah.
Somebody just lost control of their boat. Larry Grant, I think.
All right, we got Will Van Cleef out front, Brian Shores in the 117, Steve Landau, Sean Fiddler, top 4, Brad still hanging in there,
Yeah.
Team Viz, they've got Tony sandwiched. Has the Viz's pretty quick downwind here.
We were talking about Feldman in that start, who
Yeah.
got the worst start of the whole group at the pin, back to 4th place. It's
Yeah.
just finding, he's so good at finding his lane, a clear lane that is not being, infected by a million other boats. It's so impressive to watch. Now he's clamped on the old Tony Gonzalez right now.
A little bit, yeah. Dennis is teaming up on him too. That's finally bar. That's bar finally starting. But maybe some redress going on. Looks like Brian Shores makes it to that outer gate.
Brian Shores is
First.
sailing really well today.
Yep.
What happened to Willie Van Cleef?
He came to the inside. He's over. He was just.
Oh, okay.
They were kind of on the same. Rounded just about the same time. So Will Van Cleef in the 7.6 boat over here.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm.
Oh, that's him. Yeah, on the dock side. We got Brian. Couldn't be any farther apart on the course as Brian slogs upwind there on starboard. It's going to be close. Here's Will.
It's such a funny little spot off of that dock over there. There's the churned
Yeah.
up place. That's the waves are bouncing off the dock.
Yep.
Really hard.
I went over there once. Once I cleared the dock, the boat kind of lifted it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's any big advantage, but something to be aware of. As Brian Shores finds himself in first place, trying to cover the whole fleet.
I think he won the last race as well.
Got Sean Fiddler over here in the 1-1 boat. Willie Van Cleef in the 7.6. Showing a little starboard love to Steve Landau, takes a stern. And here he is, the DF95 national champion, Brad Reed.
Yeah, he was lucky.
Yes,
Did I say that out loud?
No, that's the little voice in your head, Ken. The camera doesn't pick up anything. I don't have the audio on. Just say whatever you want.
He had a really good Sunday. I'll give him that, and I did not.
Yeah.
He said he's come back here. He started off pretty average so far this morning, and he's figured out a few things. Remember, he's brand new to these boats, so this is his first IOM regatta ever.
Yeah.
So come out of the first day in a top 5 spot, you'd have to be happy with that.
Yeah. It was like Barr last year borrowed a boat and won nationals IOM here.
Yeah.
We got our nationals coming up in Florida in January,
Oh,
down at Hope Sound.
see, he overstood by literally a cross-country mile because we're used to sailing DF95s. And
Yeah.
that would have been a DF95 ley line. Not that I'm watching the little shit. I mean, my little brother, but
Oh, boy.
plug.
All right. Getting a little distracted by the pooper pumper work going on the dock here. But, I was going to say Sean Fiddler's in first, but no, that's Brian Shores way out there in front. Sean Fiddler out of Michigan, a 1-1 boat, glider pilot. In second, everybody's spread out. Doesn't look like too much excitement. Steve Landau in third, Will Van Cleef fourth. We've got Brad and Christian messing with each other instead of trying to chase down the guys in front of them. Let's slow each other down. But, let's see, is everybody going outside? Christian might be shoving Brad to the outside. Oh boy.
That was close.
Yeah, that's a lot going on. Tacking on to starboard right in front of two downwind boats. It's Steve Landau, nerves of steel. Big balls of Georgia. Trusted those guys to do the right thing and makes it through. Well, Brian's out on just a leisurely
He's out in the back.
Wednesday fun sail.
It really makes me feel better the fact that this is just like the most perfect IOM sailing day ever.
It is pretty nice, Ken.
Yeah, thanks. You were supposed to say no, it really kind of sucks.
Oh, Ken,
you're not missing anything.
this is horrible. Yeah, it's like people that travel to Seattle in the summer and say how beautiful it is. No, it's terrible. Don't move here. All right. Still got Brian out front. We'll give Brian a little cameo for the fans back in Texas. Brian shows these videos to his son, training him up early. And Sean Fiddler looks like he's clawed himself into second. Steve Landau, Will Slick Willie Van Cleef in the 7.6. Maybe battling out for second here.
Christian's actually done a nice job on this beat.
Yep. That's the 1-3 boat, Puerto Rico. They're calling the Powder Puff King earlier. There's Dennis Street Fighter Rogers. You ever want to go out downtown in San Diego and get some street brawling in, call up Dennis.
He's your guy?
In 4-3, yeah, I'll tell you that one off air. We'll give Brian his finish here. Looks like Brian's heading up to the 117. What happened to Peter, our cameo?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's in the middle there. Got Mark Gollison over here.
Look at that. Wow. He must have gotten tied up in the street brawl at the Weather Mark.
Yep. It's like Steve hangs on for second. Will for third.
Oof. Is Christian gonna lay or not?
Nope, he's low.
Yeah, so that's the cardinal rule, everybody. Make sure you lay. Oh, Andy got me just foul Brad. And Brad's gonna cross. Oh, Christian, what a shame. See how that sets up a set of disasters. Just when in doubt, don't do two tacks into the finish.
Yeah. Yeah, these small start lines are tough, or finish lines are really, I think it really pays to be on starboard for sure. Because if you're any kind of altercation, you're just...
All right, could we just talk? No, don't turn it off for a second. What's it going to take for you
We're back on.
What's it going to take for you to get out of B division?
Let's make better decisions.
Sounds like a life choice then, is that what you're saying?
No, I think the boat's going okay. It's a little weather helmy, so I'm still tweaking it, trying to get it balanced, but better start would help, and staying on that right side of the course. Like I'm getting pushed too far over here and I'm having to do high risk
All right.
maneuvers.
Well, you know what you got to do. We're going to be following you, so
All right.
no pressure.
All right.
All right, 1 minute to mark. I don't know how Dan does this all day long. Go race and then do this at the same time. God bless him for all the videos he's done for all of us IOM groupies. But I'm getting exhausted just trying to video a couple of races. Had a little controversy, which I'll talk about here in a couple minutes. In the meantime, let's see if we can watch a start. 20 seconds.
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
the starting line within the triangle that the starting line buoys make to the weather mark, I believe, within the last 1 minute. So essentially, I don't know what the heck, it's an I flag, or I don't pay attention to it anymore, don't tell anybody I said that.
2 minutes till mark.
Alright, 2 minutes till mark, get back in a sec. Alright, we're looking at 1 minute till the starting line.
50 seconds.
I am working with 81, okay?
Don't know what that means. What is working?
40 seconds.
Oh, okay, got it. Ah, cool. Got it.
30 seconds. Seconds.
Long time to go for these guys at the pin end. Are they going to be able to hang in there? 10, 9, 8, are they going to be able to get there?
Take 4! You're out!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
7485.
Oh,
Those 3 boats are UFD.
wow. Tough guy. Tough crowd there, Mr. Foster.
85, 84, and 74.
Coming off the dock. This is as you can tell, this is kind of my favorite place to be. So far, everybody's been good. Off the dock. Whoa, I just got whacked by a boat. That could be a lawsuit.
I thought we were good. I was judging it by you too.
Fucking hell.
Breeze on. Nice breeze here. This is getting proper top end of A. I doubt anybody. I think if we were out in waves, we'd be looking at B rigs right now. But because it's flat water, it's a little easier to keep control. Have I mentioned how pissed off I am that I'm not out there doing this? Yeah, I might have mentioned it a couple times. There was an over-under on, actually there was a bet as to whether Chuck Milliken would start at the pin in that race, because he has pretty much every other race he's ever been in his life. And if you bet Chuck Milliken is going to start at the pin, you would have lost, because he didn't. I don't know if he had a seizure or what, but Bar Batzer is in this B race. Bit of controversy. He was tied up and apparently in a protest at the start of the last A division race. Whether he applied for redress or not, I'm not 100% sure. But, oof, all these boats, I'm going to get back to this in a second. All these boats overstood. Overstood. They're going to have to reach down. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't even know how to commentate that. So, it's called a cluster beep. Unfortunately, Barr was right in the thick of that and dropped a bunch of boats. So he needs to get in the top 6 to get back up into A division. But I guess there was a protest and it was disallowed or something. So Barr was not in the happiest of moods, but I think he's still going to do a little pursuing of whether he has some options going forward. We got the set of judges showing up, race committee and judges taking Mark Foster's place. Those guys are probably wondering what the heck is going on with these little boats out here, taking up the entire channel. All right, 3 wide going into the leeward mark. Safety first. Again, top 6 is your everything at this stage, and they were all kind to each other. Very well done. The next 4 are certainly going to have their hands full here to try to get up into that enviable position. It's really interesting. You can see down these docks here. Maybe you can see it. These docks really create an interesting chop right on the edges. So I think it's one of the reasons why it's so hard to get off this dock when it's when you come in off of starting at the port tack end, because if you tack at the wrong time, you can just stop these little waves. So another reason not to do the Chuck Milligan start. But anyway, Chuck made it work a couple times here now. Let's see if we can get back in the top 6. Birthday boy. Oh, here he is doing a penalty turn. That's not going to help. See if we can pick up some tuning tricks as these 2 guys come in. Good tack. Couple good tacks right there. Let's watch another tack. Let's see how this tack goes. Fun. You don't get this. That's a really nice tack right there. Really nice tack. Got the wave correct and everything else. It just makes such a difference. It's incredible. Coming up to the weather mark here. We got Bill Bentz in 88 with a nice little lead going on right now. Number 90 from Norway is Odd Stray. I'm probably butchering his name. Again, those 3 guys, they should be communicating, you know, hey, let's be nice, fellas, let's be nice, let's be nice, let's not get ourselves in any trouble here. The actual position in the race does not matter except for ego. Uh-oh. 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 Don't mess it up. Pierce, he's been up and down. Tried to mess that one up a little bit. You did, Brian, but pulled it off.
Thank you, Tony.
Tony Gonzalez just walked by. He was listening to what I was saying. He just said, "Remember, top 6. These 3 front guys should be talking to each other. Hey, top 6, fellas. Let's just stretch it out here." There's 4, 5, 6. Barr has made a huge comeback. He was deep in that first mark cluster. It's odd to see. Every once in a while, we all have them, but it's odd to see somebody of Barr's caliber down here. But you gotta, like we talked about earlier, you gotta shake it off. Somehow shake it off. Get back into the groove and just go back and have fun again. None of us are making our living doing this, so just have fun. It's like playing golf. None of us are making our living. It's easy to get frustrated, and every once in a while you hit that 280-yard drive and it makes you buy a whole shitload of golf clubs and stick with it forever. So that's kind of what IOM racing is. Pretty spread out, this one. As the breeze comes up to top end, we'll probably see a little more spread out fleet. again, as these guys come back to us, we'll try to figure out any kind of tuning tips. I believe it's 3 different types of boat in 1, 2, 3 position here. I believe that's the Vis to leeward. I'm still trying to figure out what boats there are. Every time I say Vis, I'm thinking I'm going to start to cry because my boat was a Vis that... Have I mentioned that UPS kind of screwed me over? Yeah. 88 and 73. I'm not really sure exactly what types of boats those are. Brian's doing a really nice job though. Keep it together, Brian. Bill Bent's coming on strong. God, beautiful. Isn't it a beautiful day here? Barr's worked himself back up into 4th, plugging away, passing large groups of people. And then we got a 3-way battle with 114.03 and 171. Somebody's going to have that 5th and 6th spot. 2 spots. 3 people. Sorry, I am so bad at this camera. It's almost unbelievable. No problem. By the way, how Dan does it as well as he does it, I'm not sure, because this is so freaking hard. Maybe it's just cheap. This little lens that, or the screen that you're looking at, is the size of a quarter, for gosh sakes. So I'm not trying to blame it on other people. 2 guys out front. The top 3 boats sailed really well in this race. Barr had a scare, but has worked himself back into 3rd. So he will go up 3rd, maybe 4th. Oh, Brian. All right, let's not mess this up, guys. This is where you just want to get over the line without screwing anything up. All right, there's our 6. John is odd man out, unfortunately, I believe, 2, 4, 6. Yeah. Everybody's still fighting for points, even as we finish here, fighting for points. Sorry, it's so much harder than it looks. All right, here comes the A division. I think this is A Fleet number 8, I believe, coming up.
Lynn's feeding the birds over here. Feeding the birds some French fries. That was the A-fleeters. Hopefully we'll get crapped on here. But the A-fleeters win. Ryan Shore's out front, the 117. Feldman, the 4-4, Tony Gonzalez rattling at my feet, trying to intimidate the cameraman as Tony gets some hype on everybody. He's got a lot of hype as we head over to our windward mark. Got Bill Benz, the 8-8 boat. Gary Winton in the 5-4, I believe. That's Peter and Sean, Michigan natives, battled out in the middle. Tried to show Tony some starboard love. Tony crosses him. Crosses everybody, gets in front of Brian. As we head upwind. We head way to the right. We got some starboard boat lovers over there. Steve Landau, Brad Reed, Steve in the 1-2 boat. Brad in the 188. Oh, I gotta move. Sorry. Better stand up here. As everybody jockeys into position over there. Windward mark. Tony banging the corners. Gonna make it there first on starboard. Tony says starboard, starboard, starboard. But, oh, Brian Shorts gets underneath them. Maybe he can make it up and around. It looks like he does. As I zoom the wrong way. Tony and Brian, Team Yellow Boats, around the mark first. Head downwind. Tony stays powered up. Hitting the angles. Going downwind. Steve having a good regatta in the 1-2 boat. Polaris. Brian in a Vente. Tony, I think, in a Polaris. 5-1 boat. Peter Feldman in 4-4. Copper top. Duracell. If you're looking for a sponsor, Peter's your man. That's just find him on Facebook. You got Sean Fiddler in the 1-1. Team Michigan heading downwind. Mark Gollison and Dennis Rogers, Team Southern California. Right hand side of the course here. Brad Reed in the middle, 188. As we head downwind, try to keep people where you can see them. It's like Brian got ahead of Tony, not by much. Got 2 boat links on him, but he looks like he's stretching out a little bit upwind here. Tony tacks away. Steve continues on. Peter continues on. Steve tacks. Brian heading out there into the extra wide course, but he's going to tack back in. Play chicken with the end of the dock. Brian's not playing too much chicken. The windward mark and finish lines are way over there. Way on the right side. Brian lead. Peter in second. 4-4 boat. Tony Gonzalez came over here and tacked to the left with Steve. Tony in the 5-1. Steve in the 1-2. Come at me. Coming at me fast. Steve tacks back away. Sean tacks. Looks like we're going to get in front of Dennis. Tony checking out my wide angle. Stop the boat there. Tony's clean attack here. As Brad and Sean go upwind. Brad tacks away. Trying to get back to the right. Pretty much looking for an excuse to get back to the right. It's Sean Fiddler in the 1-1. Try to lay that. It's heading over to the right. Get pushed down a little bit. Steve's out there in the 1-2. Did Steve get ahead of everybody? Steve came to the left side, tacked through the middle, gets ahead of Tony. And still behind Brian. As we head upwind. And this A Fleet race, so another A Fleet brought to you by Dan Stuck and B Fleet. My apprentice Ken Reed. working hard on the camera for me, so we're going to get some extra video in the can this weekend, courtesy of UPS. When you positively don't need to have your package delivered, UPS is company for you. So, as Brian Shore is back, still in the lead, back in the lead. Looks like he's put some distance on Steve. As Brian figures out what tack he wants. He's going to try the port tack downwind. Steve's on the port tack downwind. Got a little vision test out there at the windward mark. Making things tough. As Tony buries the bow a little bit, might be itching to a little B-rig, but still A, smooth water. Nobody's submarining yet. Brian's off the front again, doing Brian things. 117. Brian, very boring sailor, gets out front, doesn't let anybody pass him. Got Steve Landau on the 1-2.
Contact!
Brad, Tony, or Brad and Peter doing a little shifty. As they head downwind, sizing up that outside mark. As let's see, Brian and Steve and Sean, and Brad, Peter and Tony. 117, 12, 11, 188, 44, and 51 for those keeping score in your program at home. Now Mr. Mark Gallison sneaking up the middle. Mark goes around, tacks away, is pointing straight up the middle of the course. So these are shifting to the right, which is the south, I think. Check back in with our our leader, boring Brian Shores out front. The 117 drove in late on practice day, shows up and beating up on everybody here in A Fleet. Steve Landau's gonna see if he's got an answer for Brian. We're running out of race here, this last little leg in the 1-2. They're 3 wide for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Got Brad on the outside, Sean in the middle of the sandwich, Peter Feldman in the 4-4. Maybe we'll give him the Malachi crunch like the old happy days. Derby driving. As Mark comes over, tacks near the dock. See if he can lay that finish line. Folks come in on port. Steve Landau's cooking up a little Brian Whipass. Trying Steve in the 1-2 boat. Brian going way out to get on to starboard. Oh, I think Brian's gonna get it. There's Steve tacking. 1-2 boat. Peter looks like he's got himself up into 3rd in the 4-4. Scott Rice, get busy.
Yeah, I'm busy in last place.
You're getting your money's worth.
Stayed in A Fleet, and then I just blew the start.
Yeah, that's all it takes. These guys,
In this fleet, that's for sure.
they're too good. Looks like Brian gets the win. Steve in 2nd.
Peter.
Oh, Brad might be shutting Peter out. Yeah. Brad sneaks. Who knows? Grand shot. It's going to be close. Maybe if I had to zoomed in a little more, you guys could see. As the rest of the boats come into our teeny tiny far away finish line. Also doubling as our windward mark and offset. at 11 minutes and 23 seconds. That's all it takes. 2 laps in Corpus Christi. And we're off. 8 fleet. Fleet heading upwind. Stand a little closer to the start line. Maybe a little different view here. As the 8 fleeters head upwind. Pace in 7.3 Polaris.
No, I'm not. Why would I be going? Tell me now.
As head upwind, follow the action down. Getting a little groggy. Need to pull the energy up. As Peter does a turn there, a little part starboard incident. Got Brian Shores, who's been playing the right, is now playing the left. As we head upwind. Tough love PRO Mark Foster with the U flag into play, so if you're over early, you're out. DSQ'd. So a lot of incentive to not be over early. As really got to head over there a long ways to get onto starboard. A lot of strategy here, but Brian Shores looks like he's out front there. Coming in on port, but low on port, not right at the mark. So at least you have options, as Brian Shores makes to the offset first in the 117. He played the left, Kenny. Played the left.
He's just getting good lanes there, you know? Really good lanes.
As Brian, wind's picking up. Guys are hammering downwind here pretty good. As,
you know what's interesting is that upper right, with the breeze just going right enough, the upper right is really bad because of those containers up there.
Yeah.
And people who are trying to stretch early to the starboard tack ley line are getting crushed.
Yeah.
Brad was leading all the way across and got really fluky up in there.
Yep.
And yeah, it's really changed with this right hand breeze.
Yep. And Brian Shores still out front. 9-0. Is that Odd Stray?
Yeah.
Out of Norway, I believe. Our international contingent here as we head down to our leeward gates. Got Brad peeling out to the dockside gate, looks like.
Inside move.
Yeah. Let's see how Brad can get some gains there or not. As Odd reels in Brian a little bit. Got Sean Fiddler in the 1-1 right behind him. Pay attention to where Brad and Brian cross. Brad's almost pointed straight up the chute here. So yeah, things are definitely shifted to the right, which is I guess north here at Corpus Christi. Us West Coasters get all confused when we get down here. The ocean's on the wrong side.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like we're in Sydney or anything.
Yeah. Oh no, Brad has to duck. It's like Yeah, looks like Brian maintains the lead.
He's just sailing so good today.
Hard to beat a guy when they don't make any mistakes. Got Brian out front, got Odd in the 9-0 boat. Our bats are back in the mix, third-ish place. Got Sean Fiddler over there, looks like fourth. Got Christian here in the 1-3 boat.
Christian's sailing really tight leech jib, and the top of his main is literally flogging sometimes.
So too much twist in the main and not enough in the jib.
That's what it sure looks like to me. It's really,
Not,
it makes it twitchy. It makes the boat twitchy and kind of hard to sail,
Yeah.
I think, when that happens. But
yeah, Peter's got a little backwind in there going too.
backwind's okay.
Is it?
Yeah, backwind's fine. It's one of the biggest misnomers in sailing is that backwind is bad.
Yeah, so if it's just twitching a little, you leave it alone.
Absolutely. It's when it's luffing. That's when you got yourself a problem.
Yeah.
B-rig, not exactly cutting it.
Oh, did Ulf change the B-rig? Yeah.
He was second or third in that last B race, and so came up based on the B rig, but not quite cutting it against the big boys right now. All right, if I were Brad, I'd be getting out of there right now because it gets, there he goes, good, he's listening. First time my little brother's ever listened to
Yeah. So just tumbling over those containers, huh?
It's definitely messy up there, no question about it. Now you got a risk coming in on port, but they're all clear enough out there that it should be okay.
So what's the general strategy? Say you do get pushed out left, you got to come in and port. You go right for the mark, or do you go down and?
Well,
I guess it depends how much traffic maybe is there.
It's all about traffic.
Yeah, if there's no traffic, I guess you can go right to the ball. And
It's all about, every once in a while, you just got to get lucky too, right?
yeah. All right, well, we'll check in with Brian out on his Sunday sail here on a Wednesday. Well, Odd had gotten close to him on that last leg right there down here. There was only a couple boat lengths. Now
We have to check for propulsion, for steroids. There's got to be something going on.
yeah. Well, he is under 50.
It's a fair point. Very good point.
All right, Barr looks like he's got himself up into third in the 6-4.
Christian just went reeling through the fleet right there. That was very impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, Christian up into third. Brad hanging on there after sailing through Containerville.
I don't think anybody's going to be doing that right side again. It didn't work that last time. It's interesting. Christian can keep his height here because that really twisty top of
The main.
top of the main shouldn't be very good for keeping height.
Well, it looks like his mast he's always kind of going up and down, up and down.
So it's usually hard. Even tacking in the wrong place today and losing that extra half a length is life and death sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like when I watch some of the really good guys, their mast just locked in on an angle, a heel angle. I guess that's a sign of balance in my mind.
Yep.
If the boat's well balanced, you can kind of just
looking at the water, anticipating the puff, the next thing that's coming at you.
Yeah, Brian still up front, the 117. As you enjoy a little coffee talk with Dan and Ken.
There you go.
We're just missing the coffee.
I was going to bring vodka today, and I should have, because that could have made for good spicy television later.
It could. I still think I'm in college sometimes when I come to these regattas, and I find out the next morning that I'm not. So A fleet, stringing it out.
See, Peter's a little luffy on the top of his too. It's really twisty. I've never seen him sail this twisty.
Yeah, usually he's pretty tight leechy. Yeah, look at the comparison between him and Gary.
Higher, right?
Yeah.
That's just reaching us.
What do you think of the IOMs? Is there much in the dirty air? Like, is Peter
Yeah,
kind of...
I think more than you think sometimes. It's,
Yeah.
The good guys know how many millimeters to windward or to leeward you need to be patient. Those of us who probably don't know the boats quite as well are probably a little more panicked at dirty air than maybe we need to be sometimes, but
Yeah, I think a lot of sailors, you get into these theoretical, like we all know that what's theoretically correct, but then we don't have the equipment or the way to test it.
bingo. By the way, we were giving poor Christian a hard time of not being maybe too twisty. He's worked his way up into like second or third.
Yeah.
So he had a really good comeback there. Yeah, I think he got a fourth out of it. So Christian, we weren't messing with you. You proved us wrong.
Just observations. We're here learning. Many lessons to learn at Corpus Christi. When Tony handed you a bottle of rum, say no.
Okay, fair enough.
Or say yes, depends what you want to do. But don't try to drink with Tony and Steve, because they truly are still at college. Road tripping to these regattas, solving world problems. And on to B Fleet.
Where'd he go?
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Oh,
2, 1.
Oh my God, Steve. 6-4 protesting 1-2. 6-4 protesting 1-2.
All right, we're off. Last A Fleet of the day. Got Peter Feldman, the 4-4 on the far inside, and Bill Benz on the far outside. Let's see which side pays.
440's tack for water. 03's on the timer.
Yes. Oops, sorry. That's A Fleet. Late in the day, boys are thinking it's Miller time. Ready to start drinking beer again. As their second to the last trip upwind. Dennis Rogers on the outside in the 4-3. Need to relocate here. Boy, where is everybody? Been a rough day. Beaten up in B Fleet Blues. Tough crowd here, the North Americans, but couldn't ask for a better day. Solid A-wig, I think. Wolf might have put a B-rig on, but maybe regretted it. So, a little early. I just follow what the good guys do. Then you don't have to think too much. They usually know a little better. As not her. Who is that? That is Will Van Cleef, old Slick Willie, the 7.6 boat making it around first. Is that Mr. Scott Rice in second? Nice job, Scott. The red 9.3 boat, followed by Brad Reed in the 1.88. Coming downwind here. Coming right at me. Little puff. See if these guys can capitalize. Got Will up front. Oh, no, it was not Mr. Scott Rice. Mistaken identity. That is Christian Plaza, Puerto Rico, in the 1.3 boat. Brad Reed in the 188 right behind him. Christian's making things happen. Kenny was critical of the leech tension. It seems to be serving Christian well. So there you can see some downwind leeches as Christian and Will posture up for first place. Brad's all by himself, clean air. The world is his oyster. Can go anywhere he wants, but we'll overcomplicate it somehow. Got Peter Feldman in the 4-4, Sean Fiddler in the 11. Blue boats over here. As Will Van Cleef clear ahead of Christian. He's coming down the leeward gate. Watch the leaders mark groundings. As Will comes in tight. Christian right behind. Brad right behind them in third. Got Peter Feldman and Barr going to the outside as Peter pushes Barr around. And now I've lost track of what's going on. A lot of big sails coming on, tight racing, tight fleet. As Christian cranks up wind here. But we still got Slick Willie Van Cleef, 7.6 out front, criticizing my ringtone earlier. Christian Plaza in the 1-3. Brad Reed powering up the middle. Bumblebee Express, 188. Looks like Mark Galson's got himself in the fourth here.
I'm not looking at you.
As we had upwind here. Got Barr and Peter glued together on this course. Nobody wants to make a mistake. Sean Fiddler in the 1-1, Todd Stray in the 9-0, Steve Landau in the 1-2. Now as things get quiet. Late in the day, last race. A sailboat race like a ski run. That last ski run is where you always break your leg. You say, just one more. You go big. Hit the big jumps like Gary Bowl in Sun Valley, Idaho. The governor and the mayor of Idaho has been texting me for updates on Gary Bowl and Alex Clocky. Idaho's official model racing team, traveling team, sponsored by Gary Bowl. As Will and Christian have a little tacking duel. Will's going to push Christian out of the mix, go lay that mark on port. See if he can gain some boat links on Christian. As Will comes in on port, slams the Takaraki. Christian right on his tail, just giving him pressure, tons of pressure. Christian manages to get inside him. Will keeps clear. As we head downwind. Oh, playing the angles here. Christian and Will fighting it out. As Christian puts the pressure on Will and cracks him, and now he's just going to say, watch my stern, Will. If you're not the lead dog, the view is always the same. So as Christian in the 1-3 boat, stretching it out, but Will's not going down to the fight. He's not happy not being the lead dog. As Will's got a lot of snipe action on that that jib as Christian gives up the inside position there. Where's our friend Brian Shores? He's usually been handing out. Brad's in third, Mark's in fourth, Peter fifth. Bar, there's Mr. Shores, the 171. I'm enthralled with this little battle for first between Christian and Will Van Cleef. So Christian got the inside, Will let him get the inside. Both gonna come around tight, come upwind. Just putting on a clinic here, these two. Showing them there, giving their space in the sun as they come upwind here. Will tacks away first. Christian, little hesitation. Like Bodie says in Point Break, fear causes hesitation, and hesitation causes your worst fears to come true. The movie by which all other movies is judged, Point Break. Who was that? Patrick Swayze. Yeah, it's a great movie. Maybe we'll watch it tonight. The old Motel No Tell. As Christian stays in the lead in the 1-3, Will's trying to cook up some whoop ass. As Christian's been able to wheel some stuff out, some links out, put a little gap between him and Will. Will's got the tight jib boom angle going on, I think, but not sure. I'm no expert tuner, just a guy with a camera and a big mouth. As Christian looks like he did tighten up that main leech a little bit. Maybe he was hearing Kenny. Ooh, got the big barge coming in, putting a big wind shadow. But looks like Christian's going to hang on. Here's Brad giving some starboard love to Mark as we head up. But Mark, I like what Mark's cooking here. Mark's going to get over there. He's going to have to throw a tack in to hit the line. There's a bar. Bar comes in. Christian, stay in the sun. Will being the bridesmaid on this one. Brad's gonna sneak in there on that left-hand buoy. He kind of went on a little further.
Holding on starboard. Holding on starboard.
There's Gary Bowl doing Gary Bowl things, controlling traffic. Looks like Christian's up in there for first. Will in second. Looks like Brad might have squeezed in a third. As the last race of the day comes in. Kind of lost track. Getting a little daydreamy here, a little rummy. Jim Sears says beer's in the cooler, but I decided to film one more race as we finish up Wednesday, November 19th, 2025, IOM, what do we call these? Continentals. Corpus Christi, Texas. Dennis Rogers coming in. Gary Bowl coming in. Boy with a Dream in the blue draft stripes. Jimmy Sears. And a couple more boats. And that's about it. Here's our third place finisher going downwind, taking a victory lap. Can steal Brad's tuning secrets for the weekend. DF95 national champ. There he goes. Trying to get on the podium here in Corpus Christi, Texas. And the yellow Bumblebee Viz. As Brad takes a little tuning run. Race committees, start pulling buoys. Got a little fish jump there. Oh, there he goes. As Brad sails off into the sunset. All right, that's a wrap. Day 1, Continentals. Guess what, kids? We're going to do it all over again tomorrow. Death by sailing.